everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is another reading vlog, and I'll just show you something. So that's my view, and we're gonna try to read a few books this week. Technically it's not my view, it's someone else's room, but that's the view. I was talking and I didn't realize I wasn't filming, but hello everyone. So just a little bit of an update. We are currently here in, well, a cottage near Loch Lomond. We're gonna be here for a week, so I think I'm going to read maybe 3 books. Well, one of them is gonna be an audiobook, and it's gonna be Shadowheart by Kingfisher, and then the other one would be Carrie by Stephen King. Woman in Black, I don't know who the author is actually, but I'm gonna update you I'll tell you about the books once I'm reading them. I'm gonna try to squeeze in as much books as I can because this is a holiday wherein we are celebrating someone's 90th birthday. And I'm gonna try to squeeze in as much books as I can, especially like filming around family and stuff. So yeah, but right now we are just admiring the sunset, admiring the scenery, and I'll update you when I start reading. Whatever. Reading update, but also kind of a reflection. One thing I did realize, well, I know coming into this holiday that I won't be able to really read as much as I can because there's so many other things to do, so many other activities, and I've tried to squeeze as much reading as I can. So I've managed to read 100 pages of Carrie by Stephen King. I am really loving it so far. I get it how people can read all of Stephen King's books because the way he writes is so reachable. It can be read by a whole lot of people, and it's almost like it's really consumable by the masses, but it's still also very interesting. And I can't believe, when was this written actually? Well, someone told me it was written in the 70s. I mean, the concept, the values of the characters there are some characters that are of course despicable, but like one character here, I think Tommy, he's a more morally intelligent or socially intelligent character, and I really like his character. But also it's really captivating, and I'm gripped, and I really wish like sometimes I can just run away to a corner and just read, which I've already had a couple of times throughout the day, trying to escape family and stuff. But I'll give you more updates if hopefully I finish this book tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. But yeah, I have to go play bingo now, and I'll update you in a couple of minutes. Or, well, in this video it's gonna be in a couple of seconds, but I'll update you when I manage to finish Carrie. Bye! So, I managed to finish... Wait, where's my other book? Oh, here. Okay. Managed to be home alone today. And yesterday I managed to finish Carrie by Stephen King. I didn't film anything after that because we did go out for drinks and dessert. Now I have a bit of peace and quiet so I can actually talk about Carrie. And I think I'm gonna give this a 5-star. Again, Stephen King, he's not really my cup of tea. He's not usually the author, or his books aren't really the ones that I go seeking for and like first option to pick up and actually read. So this is the first time that I've read anything from Stephen King, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I get how people call it like almost like a classic horror, or like a chilling classic. Hello. Editing Max here, and I just realized that I was reading Carrie and updating you about Carrie, but I didn't actually explain what Carrie was about. So I'm just gonna hop on here and tell you what it's about. It's about a teenager named Carrie who has specific powers, basically telekinesis, and she gets invited to the prom by this guy named Tommy Ross, and she was hoping that maybe this would be the first time that she can finally be accepted into the social group of her class, senior prom. And basically a lot of bad things happen. And again, I shouldn't really be explaining it because a lot of people already know who Stephen King is and have seen the movie, have seen clips on it like everywhere else. But you know, some other people might not know what it's about, so I'm just here to tell you that. But yeah, I'm just gonna hop on back to the video. It's only about 200... That was weird. I left the door open, that's why. It's about 230... Right, I'm gonna close the doors. Okay. Oh, so weird when you're in an unfamiliar house and then you hear different sounds. But anyway, so it's about 242 pages, and I would say like when you're on a holiday, it's quite a good pace, and you really get immediately into the story. That's the nice thing about this book. Like there's not much explanation, like there is explanation, but there's not much prosy, almost purple words. You just get into the story and it's quite gripping. Again, a lot of people have already read this, so it's probably just silly of me to try to explain to people what it's about. But if you've not read any Stephen King yet, like me, and you kind of want to try, this is such a good start, and I would highly recommend. And it's 5 stars. It's my first Stephen King, and I don't know whether I should pick up another book from Stephen King. Again, I do get recommendations from a lot of people because again, he's quite a known author, and we'll see what book I'm gonna pick up next from this author. But yeah, and now let's talk about the next book I'm gonna read, which is The Woman in Black by Suzanne Hill. So this is about, well, I'm just going to read the back. Arthur Kipps, a junior solicitor, is summoned to attend the funeral of Mrs. Alice Dreblow, the sole inhabitant of Eel Marsh House. The house stands at the end of the causeway, weathered in fog and mystery. But it is not until he glimpses a wasted young woman, dressed in all black, at the funeral, that a creeping sense of unease begins to take hold. A feeling deepened by the reluctance of the locals to talk of the woman in black and her terrible purpose. So it's a horror book. Again, I think there's like 2 movies and a play about this, and I've not seen it. I've not read Woman in Black before. I don't know the story, and I don't know anything about it. Again, I'm not a fan of horror, especially movies. So I think we can probably try to get out of our comfort zone. I am home alone, so it's going to be a bit creepy reading this right now, but I'm just going to be home alone for 2.5 hours, so that's fine. This is about 200 pages, and the font size, I'll just give you the front page, because sometimes people find it helpful to see like how dense the writing is, like the typography. So it's not so bad. And yeah, I'm gonna try to read this today, but I also need to edit. And maybe what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read this afternoon while I have the house to myself, and then I'll edit this evening just before bed. I'll start trying to edit because I need more memory in this camera and I'm running out. And we'll do that. I'm gonna try to get some nice shots outside because the sun is out, though the grass is quite wet, so I couldn't really sit on the grass. But I might bring a chair out and just enjoy the sun. There is like a wasp nest just above, like just near the soffit, but I think that's already gone. Like it's an empty wasp nest, so we'll see. I am terrified of frogs, and I did hear a frog outside, so I don't know whether I can go out or not. We'll see. I'll update you in a minute. Yeah. Right. Remember when I said that I don't like reading horror? Some of you are probably laughing at me right now because some of you have already read this, but oh my you're not even right now, but I can't be bothered. That was one of the most terrifying reading experience I've ever had. Honestly, being alone in a house that I'm not familiar with. It's a huge house, by the way. It's like there's a wing over there, and that has its own kitchen and bathroom and a bedroom, and then there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 dining areas, and the land is big. And I'm freaking out because I'm alone, and I'm reading The Woman in Black and also listening to it at the same time. I think I'm shaking. This is terrifying, and I'm still at the. I've just finished the funeral bit. Honestly, I'm really freaking out. I was about to spew. I was actually so close I was feeling sick. I think I was holding my breath. Oh my god, I've never had such a visceral reaction to a book. Honestly. Okay, that's just a moth. It's fine. Okay. I'm glad that I'm vlogging, because at least like I can kind of decompress and talk to, at least even to a camera. At least I'm still talking. This is a bad idea, reading it alone in a house that I'm not familiar with. I'm so happy I'm not reading it in the dark. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Fine, we'll get over it. Come on, Max. Pull yourself together. It'll be fine. Okay, I'll update you in a minute, okay? 100 pages in The Woman in Black. It is a whole different experience when you're reading it and listening to the audiobook at the same time. I love the fact that the audiobook is, I think, it's Dolby as well, so you get a bit of a surround sound situation happening. I'm not putting on my earphones because I'm terrified I can't hear the surroundings, like the things around me. I can't hear my surroundings, and I'm already creeped out enough, and having earphones will probably just scare the living daylights out of me, and I might scream, and I don't want to scream. So I'm putting it on loudspeaker, and I'm just, if you see some of my videos where my phone is on my chest, it's because stereo helps it, so it's more kind of a surround sound feeling still, though I can still hear my surroundings. And I've never had such a strong reaction to a book that quickly. I was in page 50, the graveyard scene, the funeral scene, and I was feeling sick. Like, why would you see? That's the thing, right? I'm gonna be spoilery about this. That's the thing, right? If you go to a local, like if you go to countryside and then the locals tell you, I wouldn't be messing around in that place, right? Sorry, I'm looking at, like, I've looked disheveled, honestly. I hate, oh my god. Anyway, so if you're going to a countryside and the locals are telling you, right, there's be weird stuff going on in that house, I wouldn't dare go in there. Like, even if they don't forwardly tell you that specifically, but like they're all kind of hinting that, ooh, that's a bit haunted. I would take their advice and not go there alone if I need to go there, because he's a lawyer, he needs to go there. I would not go and like, oh, I can stay here, grab a couple of food, grab a bag of food and some pillows and this and that, and I'll stay here overnight, and then you can just pick me up the next day or 2 days after that. How confident are you to think that you can handle that? Honestly, I'm freaking out because I feel like someone's gonna just jump scare me, like a face would just show up in that window right over there, and it's freaking me out. I keep looking at it. Sorry. But if the locals are telling you that place is haunted, didn't do it, don't do it, right? This is just, especially like that bit where he finally made it to the house, and then he saw the woman in black in one of the burial ground. Like they have their own graveyard, like next to the home. He was like, he saw the woman in black there, and then she started walking to the edge of the house, and then she kind of disappeared, and then he ran after her, right? A lot of people say, why would you run after a ghost when you know you've had this kind of bodily feeling that like your body's telling you run, but instead of running the opposite direction, you run towards the ghost to check where they are. I have a funny story about that, actually. You know, in movies where you're like, oh, just go, run, get away from the ghost. Why are you trying to chase the ghost? Why are you trying to find where the ghost is? I think it's more human nature, because when I was in uni, again, you can believe me or not, up to you. I'm just telling you my experience. But when I was in uni, I went to the girls' bathroom, right? And then our stalls were quite short. So when you stand up, it was about this high, and you can see like the heads of the people walking past. And then it flooded. So the only stall that was available was one stall that was closer to the door and the sink. And then when I stood up after doing my business, when I stood up, I saw this girl walk by, but I could only see the top of her head, like her crown here. She had short hair, but I could only see this. And she was walking to the very end of the stall. There was 3 stalls. So she walked, not the next stall, the stall next to me, no, but the stall after that. And that's fine. And I went out and then started washing my hands. And I realized I didn't hear footsteps because, again, it was flooded. You could hear people's footsteps, like pat, 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 because it's wet. And I thought, I didn't hear any footsteps, but I definitely saw a girl. So what I did, instead of walking out knowing that, that was a bit creepy, run away. No, I started walking towards the end of the stall and opening each one. And in the last one, where I thought she was, it was open. Nobody was there. And I hightailed it out of there. Honestly, like I don't run, I ran. And I get it when in like videos or like movies or whatever, not that I watch a lot of horror movies, but that cliche thing where, why do you look when you know there's a ghost there, where you feel like there's a ghost there? I get it why our main character ran towards the woman in black and the ghost, and then when he turned to the corner, she was gone, and that like all your blood just drains out of your body feeling, and you just feel cold, and you just can't breathe, and you start running crazy, like with no direction. I completely understand that, because that's happened to me. So believe me if you don't, but believe me if you want to believe me. You don't have to, it's this one experience I've ever had that was actually really quite scary. But I get it. And I'm hating this book in a good way, because it's freaking me out. And again, I'm home alone. They're still not back. I actually wish that they'll come back soon. They said they're going to be gone for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm freaking out. I hope they're back soon, because I'm freaking out. I think I can finish it today, but as soon as they're back, that might change, because, socializing with family and stuff. So yeah, I'll update you maybe when I finish, or if there's something scary that happens that I just need to talk to you just to decompress. All right. Thank you. Sorry about the angle as well. And I look really disheveled. This is what this book is making me feel like. Okay. Update you in a minute. gonna do this update real quick. The window's open. Hopefully you don't hear too much of the wind. But yeah, I have finished The Woman in Black, and it's a 5-star. 5-star. It was what it was. It was a horror book. My reactions was very visceral. I was so scared. And again, I did pair it with the audiobook, and it was amazing. And again, I think the ambience as well, like, because I am in a house, a strange house where, well, not a strange house, but it's a cottage and there's so many rooms, and it's not usually where I stay. Well, we're visiting here, so it's the environment, the atmosphere, it was all there, and highly recommend. And yeah, I don't know what to read next. I might edit a video, and I don't know, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna take a break for today and stop reading, because I've just finished this in 3 hours, so I'll update you later on. So we made it back home. We actually arrived yesterday, but I was too tired, too busy. I started unpacking and just did other stuff, so wasn't really in the mood to film. But I did finish Swordheart by Kingfisher. It is... I gave it a 3 stars. So I don't think I've mentioned what I read, what I was planning to read, and what it was all about after my last update, because I was just too tired, and then I ended up actually not listening to Swordheart for a couple of days because I just wanted to kind of enjoy the holiday as well. If you're not familiar with Swordheart, it's about Hella, our main character, and she's basically a widow, and then her husband's family, her deceased husband's family were trying to kind of marry her off to her brother-in-law, just to keep the inheritance in the family, but she doesn't want that because she has other people to support, and she knows that if she marries her brother-in-law, then her mother-in-law will get all the money and all this jazz. Then she encounters Sword, basically, which she kind of wants to off herself so that she can escape her fate. And an immortal being came out of the sword, which is the whole kind of whimsical aspect of it. It's very cozy fantasy, very romance fantasy as well, and it all sets in the world of the White Rat. Is that correct? It's basically in Kingfisher's world thing, where the Clockwork Boys, Paladin's Grace and Paladin's Strength, and all of the events happening in other books are taking place, so it's kind of one universe, which is quite nice actually, because I've not actually read Clockwork Boys, but I have read Paladin's Strength and Paladin's Grace, and now I've read Swordheart. Some mentions of like specific places and specific gods and types of priests, and it's this kind of coherent world, which is quite nice. Though I don't know whether I made a mistake of not reading it in order, so I'm kind of a bit spoiled, but I kind of get hints and bits and pieces of what happened prior to the events of the book that I'm currently reading. I don't know whether I should start reading it in publication order, but we'll see. I'll need to do some research about it. But yeah, this Swordheart Really, I think it was more of a 3 stars for me. I am going to try to re-listen to it. I do have it on Audible because it's free. But I'm going to try to listen to it again maybe next month or sometime around autumn, because I feel like my mindset wasn't just in the right place while reading this, because I think I was just too stressed and too tired and just so many things happening at once as well. Especially after reading 2 good books. For me, Carrie was a 5-star and The Woman in Black was a 5-star. I was probably subconsciously comparing it to those experiences, so I'm giving it a 3-star for now, but I want to go back to re-listening to it, because I am going to maybe make a series where I just read a lot of Kingfisher. Yeah, I'm ending the vlog here. It's probably all choppy and stuff. I have looked at the footage, and I'm trying to put it all in my laptop so I can start editing it today. And I do feel like it's really cut out in bits and pieces, but hey, I was on holiday, so if you made it this far into the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also comment anything, an emoji, that'll do wonders to my channel. And thank you so much for watching again, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.